केमिस्ट्रीचा पेपर अमित सरांचं त्यामध्ये काय हे होतं मागच्या त्यांनी परीक्षा केली.
Hi. Abhini and Aditya. Hi, Swarashri.
Hi, ma'am.
Last time we finished, no? Before 2, C4, Act 4, C2. And we did the, hi. Vihan? Today we'll do ledger chest. You're also from St. Mary's, no? No. Not quite. So your exams are over. No?
Our like semester was divided into subjective and objective. So our objective English paper is over. So our subjective is in July.
Okay. Should we go to the next lesson from treasure chest? Is your friend coming today? No, he's not coming. Have they finished unit Act 4 in your school?
It's like the scene 3 is currently going.
Act 4, scene 3 is going on. It's a long one. So I thought. Where are you? They in your school? With Julius Caesar? End of Act 3. How about you, Swarashri? How much have they finished in your school?
They've done, I think, scene 1, 2, and 3 of Act 4. That's it.
Act 4?
Sorry,
Okay.
Act 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Act 3.
And here we have done till Act 4, Scene 2. So today I thought we'll take a break from Julius Caesar and we'll do treasure chest, the next lesson. The name of the lesson is The Girl Who Can. And the name of the author is Emma Etta Aidu. Emma Etta Aidu. She's a writer, playwright, poet from Ghana. Any idea where is Ghana? Africa. That's right. So, and she also became an education minister later. So now this is her story. Let's say she was born in the 70s, 60s. When was she born? Have they given their date? 1942. So when she became an education minister in 70s. Born in 1942. So maybe let's say your grandmother's age. Most probably a little older than that. Your grandmother is still younger. And that is the time when African society and how they used to think that girls are only for getting married. If you have a girl, she needs to I thought there's someone outside. Get married and then have, you know, have children. Now, this girl, she had very thin legs. She had very thin and long legs. And that was not considered a very beautiful, that was not considered a sign of beauty in Ghana, in African society, in the society of Ghana. Yeah, and there was a belief that you must have good calves and good strong legs because only then you can, your waist can have the strength to carry a baby. And therefore, every now and then, she had a grandmother, she had of course, a mother. Hello. Hi. This is Isha, right? And her grandmother would constantly point at her thin legs. What is this? She has such thin legs. Every now and then, she was told how she has thin legs and how she probably will be of no good use because she'll not be able to carry children. This woman, and they never even thought. The grandmother also thought that going to school is useless. It was her mother who insisted that she should go and at least learn to read and write, learn to read, write her name, read few things and calculate certain things on paper. Of course, she went on to study further, and her thin legs, they were maybe not the sign of beauty according to her grandmother, but they were good at something, and they were good at running. And she was she was the fastest runner in her school. So that is the story. Like how, that's basically the story of the girl who can. I'll read the introduction of the author, page 151. Emma Etta Aido, born 1942, is a Ghanaian writer, playwright, and academic. She was the Minister of Education. In The Girl Who Can, Aidu analyzes African women's struggle to find their rightful place in society. Her stories raise issues of choice and conflict. The Girl Who Can is the story of a girl who rises above the pressure of social criticism. The story's protagonist is Ajoa, a little African girl who resides in a village in Ghana with her mother and grandmother. This is Ajoa's struggle to find her rightful place in society despite her thin legs that she is constantly told are no good for supporting hips meant for childbearing. Ajoa's triumph proves that women have greater roles in society than merely being able to bear children. So, interesting stories like in our society, what is the main thing that the girls are told? Any idea? What do they criticize? What are they criticized most? They criticize for many things, but one common thing, Swarashri, no clue. What is the biggest worry? Or what is the biggest demand? Have you ever read matrimonial ads? No, not even for 10 bucks. Oh, great. So you really have no idea, or the things have changed for good. Like everybody wants a fair girl. If you see the matrimonial ads, nobody talks about qualification much. It should be fair. We are obsessed with fair girls. I still remember we had taken the trip to school and it was to the water park and there was this girl in sixth standard, and there's that low slide. So while coming from the close slide, coming down, she shouldn't have raised her head up. So before she came out, she raised her head up. I don't know why she didn't realize the timing or what. And when she came out, what we saw is she had a deep cut and it was bleeding profuse. So she was taken immediately to the nearby doctor and the stitches were given. And when we came back, her father came to pick her up and he was fine. Why was I not told? Because there was no time to call our parents and we had to rush her immediately to the doctor. The first reaction of the father was, इसकी शादी कौन करेगा? इसके ऊपर ये माँ कितना रहेगा? ये माँ रहेगा उसका इससे शादी कौन कितना प्रॉब्लम होगा शादी में? And you're like, sixth standard is thinking of shadi, there's so much time, there's so many
Just
things.
then also you will get hurt or you won't just be safe, you're mad. You can't be safe, like without getting hurt, scratches.
Yeah, actually. And of course, that mark must have been, but it must have faded away by now. And but the first thing that the father said is, shadi kaun karega? So, so much importance to shadi. So the girl who can. Will you like to read? What? Head is spinning. This is a headache lesson over here. I mean, there is nothing laughter funny as such. Why your head is spinning? Chiny पी क्या है? Chiny पीते हो? फिर क्या पीते हो? Coffee. दूध पीना बंद करो, चाय पिया करो, मस्त fresh रहोगे. Seriously?
I know, I did everything.
Yeah.
Chai, go.
Yeah, really. It's a myth that milk has good qualities. That's not meant for us. It's only for the babies. After that, you don't need milk. You can drink buttermilk and drink chai.
I've got headache, you shouldn't drink like water milk or anything. Tea is the best for headache.
Yeah, tea is best for everything. What do you drink Aditya?
Both tea, coffee, actually.
I'll start and then see what. They say that I was born in Hasudzi, and it is a very big village in the central region of our country, Khan. They also say that when all of Africa is not choking under a rock, Hasudzi lies in a very fertile low land in a district known for its good soil. Maybe that is why anytime I don't finish eating my food, Nana says, you Ajwa, you don't know what life is about. You don't know what problems there are in this life. So, where is she born? Where was she born? Where was she born? Hazozi. Where is this Hazozi? Central region of Han. And it was a very fertile lowland. So, if there is no drought in Africa, then this region would have very good crop. As far as I could see, there was only one problem, and it had nothing to do with what I knew Nana considered as problems, or what Mami thinks of as the problem. Mami is my mother, Nana is my mother's mother, and they say I'm 7 years old. And my problem is that at this 7 years of age, there are things I can think in my head, but which maybe I do not have the proper language to speak them out with. And that I think is a very serious problem because it is always difficult to decide whether to keep quiet and not say any of the things that come into my head or say them and get laughed at. Not that it is easy to get any grown up to listen to you, even when you decide to take the risk and say something serious to them. Okay? Now the grandmother would say, you don't know what kind of problems there are in life. But our Ajoa, she had different problems. Who was mommy? Mommy was her mother. Nana was her grandma. How old was she? Ajoa? 7. Now, what was the problem? What was her problem at the age of 7? What was her problem at the age of 7? She says there were many things would come in her head. But she did not know how to say them out. And many a times she says that it's a serious problem that there are so many things that you want to ask, but you don't know how to ask them. Why? One, if you ask something, most likely the elders will laugh at you. क्या पूछ रही है? Okay? And therefore, it is very difficult to decide whether to keep quiet and not say anything that comes to your mind, or just say it and be laughed at. If you don't say, then you keep thinking about it. If you don't ask those things, then you keep thinking about it. And if you ask those things, is there a guarantee of getting answer? No. But you will be laughed at. You will be ridiculed. पागल के जैसे फिर भी पूछती रहती है. What do you want to know? Why do you want to know? Shut up and sit there. Many a times when you don't know the answer, that is the easy answer. Shut up and sit there. You think you're very smart. That's what the answers you get. Or nowadays, the easiest answer is you go and find out. That is the easy answer. But today you have lot of access to find out about things. Olden times, it was not easy. So she had many doubts in her head. She had many queries in her head. But she did not know how to ask. Because there was never a guarantee that she'll get an answer. If she asks, the best is keep quiet and keep thinking about it, or ask and get ridiculed, get laughed at. Okay, Aditya.
Take Nana. First, I have to struggle to catch her attention. Then I tell her something I had taken a long time to figure out. And then you know what always happens? She would once stop whatever she's doing and mouth open stare at me for a very long time. Then bending and turning her head slightly so that one ear comes down towards me, she'll say in that voice, Ajoa, you say what? After I have repeated whatever I had said, she would either still in that voice ask never to repeat that, or she would immediately burst out laughing. She would laugh and laugh and laugh until tears run down her cheeks, and she would stop whatever she is doing and wipe away the tears with the hanging edges of a cloth. And she would continue laughing until she is completely tired. But then, as soon as another person comes by, just to make sure she doesn't forget whatever it was I had said, she would repeat it to her. Then, of course, there would be two old people laughing and screaming with tears running down their faces. Sometimes this show continues until there are three, four, or even more of such laughing and screaming, tear-faced grown-ups. And all that performance on whatever I had said. I find something quite confusing in all this. That is, no one ever explains to me why sometimes I shouldn't repeat some things I say, while at other times, some other things I say would not only be all right, but would be considered so funny they would be repeated so many times for so many people's enjoyment. You see how neither way of hearing me out can encourage me to express my thoughts too often.
Okay. So you understood what happens there. If she tries to say something, see, you need to understand that even if she says that I want to go to the town and to study, they were living in a village, and even if she says that, you know what, when I grow up, I want to go to the town, to the school in town and I want to study higher education. Even that might be a piece of joke for the grandmother. Because the grandmother had never gone to the school. The grandmother had never studied. She did not know the importance of studies, education. So even that must have been a piece of joke for her. So here, if she say, so sometimes when if she's whenever she would say something, she would tell her never repeat that again to anyone. लोग पागल बोलेंगे तुमको, in that way. Now you talking, people will think you're mad. Don't go and say anything. And she would must have asked something very simple and not maybe silly, but very something very simple. And at times, grandmother would laugh for she says hours. And then if she finds someone and if another person comes, she didn't want to forget what she had spoken. She would repeat the same thing and they both would sit there and laugh. And the girl would never understand. There are certain things they don't want her to repeat, and there are certain things they laugh about. So, what should she do? Which things are silly and which things are funny? Like all this business to do with my legs, I have always wanted to take them not to worry. I always wanted to tell them not to worry. I mean, Nana and my mother. That it did not have to be an issue for my two favorite people to fight over. But I didn't want either to be told not to repeat that or it to be considered so funny that anyone would laugh at me until they cried. After all, they were my legs. When I think back on it now, those two, Nana and my mother, must have been discussing my legs from the day I was born. What I'm sure of is that when I came out of the land of sweet, soft silence into the world of noise and comprehension, the first topic I met was my legs. See, if your mother criticizes you, if your people in the house criticizes you, then it hurts the most, especially the physical features. Okay? So here, what did your mother and grandmother fight about? Legs. Her legs. About her legs. What did they laugh over? Her legs. Okay? And she says that right from the time she remembers, they are only talking about her legs and how ridiculously thin her legs are and how they will not support her in the future and how she will find it very difficult to bear children. That is all she heard them discussing about her. Read.
That discussion was repeated very regularly. Nana, Kaya, I thank my God that your very first child is female, but Kaya, I am not sure about her legs. And Nana would take her head, shake her head. Mom, mother, why are you always complaining about Arjua's legs? If you ask me, Nana, they are too thin, and I am not asking you. Nana has many voices. There is a special one she uses to shut everyone up.
So if you ask me, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you, she's got very thin legs. You know, some people have that tone, they know how to shut the other person up. Yes.
Some people have no legs at all. My mother would try again with all her small courage. But Arjuna has legs, Nana would insist, except that they are too thin and also too long for a woman. Kaya listen once in a while, but only once in a very long while. Somebody decides nature, a child spirit mother, an accident happens, and somebody gets born without arms or legs or both sets of limbs. And then let me touch wood. It is a sad business, and such things are not for talking about every day. But if a female child decides to come into this world with legs, then they might as well be legs.
Then might, if that female child is born with legs, then they might as well be legs. There are people, accidents happen, it's nature, that some people are born without legs, without limbs. But if somebody is born with legs, then let them be legs. What is this long, thin legs are not legs according to them. Yes.
What kind of legs? And always at that point, I knew from her voice that my mother was weeping inside. Nana never heard such inside weeping. Not that it would have stopped Nana even if she had heard it, which always surprised me because about almost everything else apart from my legs, Nana is such a good grown-up. In any case, what do I know about good grown-ups and bad grown-ups? How could Nana be a good grown-up when she carried on so about my legs? All I want to say is that I really like Nana except for that.
Okay. So she says Nana was not a bad person. Her grandmother was not a bad person. She would probably feed her well, give her everything that she wanted. Other than her legs, she had no problem. But the biggest problem was legs. And she would keep talking about her legs. How irritating and humiliating it must be. Yeah, the partner.
As Nana, as I keep saying, if any woman decides to come into this world with all of her two legs, then she should select
Swarashri, are you able to hear?
that are meat on them with good calves.
Uh,
Because
yes,
Swaresh-
ma'am.
Okay. Should be able to hear. Huh?
because you are sure such legs would support solid heads, and a woman must have solid heads to be able to have children. Oh mother, that's how my mother would answer, very, very quietly. And the discussion would end or they would move on to something else. Sometimes Nana would pull in something about my father. How, looking at such a man, we have to be humble and admit that after all, God's children are many.
She would and her husband, her father also. You know, when you look at this man, you can imagine what kind of children he will get. You know, God's children are many. Means, yeah, no, he is like that. So naturally, the children that are born with him are also not very beautiful.
How, after one's only daughter had insisted on marrying a man like that, you still have to thank your God that the biggest problem you got later was having a granddaughter with spindly legs that are too long for a woman and too thin to be of any use. The way she always added that bit about my father under her breath, she probably thought I did hear it, but I always wouldn't. Plus, that is what always shut my mother up for good, so that even if I had not actually heard the words, once my mother looked like even her little courage was finished, I could always guess what Nana had added to the argument. Like,
So you understood this part. Every time she would drag her father, I mean, like, how to say, Ajoa's father in that discussion, and then her mother would just stop arguing with her grandma. Legs that have meat on them with good calves to support solid heads to be able to have children. That was the grandmother's only insistence, good legs. According to her, Ajoa had legs, Ajoa's legs were too long for a girl to have and too thin for
Anyways.
of any use. So I wish that one day I would see for myself the legs of any woman who had children. So now Ajwa always wanted to see the legs of other women. How different are they from her own legs? See.
But in our village, that is not easy. The older women wear long wrap arounds all the time. Perhaps if they let me go
Bathe in the
beyond
river.
the river in the evening, I could have checked, but I never had the chance. It took a lot of begging just to get my mother and Nana to let me go splash around in the shallow end of the river with my friends. Who were other little girls like me. For proper baths, we used the small bathhouse behind our hut. Therefore, The only naked female legs I have ever really seen are those of other little girls like me, or older girls in the school, and those of my mother and Nana. Two pairs of legs, which must surely belong to the approved kind, because Nana gave birth to my mother and my mother gave birth to me. In my eyes, all my friends have long, short legs that look like legs, but whether the legs have got meat on them to support the kind of legs that
I know. So she always wanted to see how the others legs look, but she didn't have the chance. It was difficult to find out what the other women, what kind of legs the other women have, because she was never allowed to go out. The women wore wraparounds, so their legs were not seen. And she never got a chance to go and swim in the water where probably they would raise it up and swim. She had the only legs that she had seen were of the girls, young girls like her. And there she did not find much difference. According to the older boys and girls, the distance between our little village and small town is about 5 kilometers. I don't know what 5 kilometers mean. They always complain about how long it is to walk to school and back. But to me, we live in a village and walking those kilometers didn't matter. School is nice. The school was in the town. How far was school from home? 5 kilometers. And everyone would complain. But Ajwa never complained. It was never a problem for her to walk all the way, those 5 kilometers and come back. Uh, Swarashri, will you read the next para?
Yes, ma'am.
School is another thing.
School is another thing Nana and my mother discussed often and appeared to have different ideas about. Nana thought it would be a waste of time. I never understood what she meant. My mother seemed to know and disagreed. She kept telling Nana that is my mother, felt she was locked into some kind of darkness because she didn't go to school. So that if I, her daughter, could learn to write and read my own name and a little besides, perhaps be able to calculate some things on paper, that would be good. I could always marry later and maybe. Nana would just laugh. Ah, maybe with legs like hers, she might as well go to school.
Yeah.
Running,
Yeah, continue.
running with our classmates on our small sports field and winning first place each time never seemed to me to be anything about which to tell anyone at home. This time it was different. I don't know how the teachers decided to let me run for the junior section of our school in the district games, but they did. When I went home to tell my mother and Nana, they did not believe it at first. So Nana had taken it upon herself to go and ask into it properly. She came home to tell my mother that it was really true. I was one of my school's runners.
Okay. So here, school was little far. It was easy for Ajua to walk 5 kilometers and come back. Dana was not very impressed by school. She never thought that she should go to school and study. What was her mother's opinion? The mother wanted her to study because she felt that she should know at least to write her name, calculate, read. And what was Nana's reaction? Actually, the mother said, marriage can happen, marriage can wait, she can marry later. The Nana's reaction was, yeah, with this kind of legs, she better go to school. Because the Nana always thought that who will marry her with this kind of legs. And she said running with her classmates and winning prizes was not something she thought very great thing and she should come and inform home. But then once she was selected to run for the district games at the district level. So she had to come home and tell Nana and her mother. Were they happy to hear it? Were they happy to hear it?
The mother,
They,
the mother was.
the mother was. Wait, actually they did not believe her only. That she's been selected for something.
And grandmother wanted.
The grandmother actually, the grandmother actually came to the school to find out whether she was already really selected. Many a times, parents underestimate their children. Many a times parents don't think their children are good enough. Recently, one incident took place. This child, he got highest marks in science. There were many who got 99 out of 100 in science, and he was one of them. And when he was called to felicitate, the mother was like, why have you called him? So the child called up and said, yes, my parents don't believe that I've scored highest marks in science. Please write a message to them. So they thought if my child has scored 99, there must be somebody who scored 100. He इसको ये कहाँ से topper होगा? So sometimes parents underestimate their children. So even here, she has actually been selected. But the grandmother and mother, see, had she had nice legs, the grandmother must have thought that she,
Possible.
yes, she is fit for every good thing in life. But because she didn't have that strong legs, that is probably the highest rank of beauty in their country, she was considered very ordinary. They never thought that she can be better in anything else. When I went home to tell, okay, so Nana had taken it upon herself to go and ask it to do it properly. She came home to tell my mother that it was really true. I was one of my school's runners. Is that so? Exclaimed my mother. I know her. Her mouth moved as though she was going to tell Nana that after all, there was a secret about me she couldn't be expected to share with anyone. Oh my God, she's been selected, don't tell anyone. But then Nana herself looked so pleased. Out of surprise, my mother shut her mouth. Ah. In any case, since the first time they heard the news, I have often caught Nana staring at my lips with a strange look on her face, but still pretending like she was not looking. All this week, she had been washing my school uniform herself. That's a big surprise. And she didn't stop at that. She even went to Mr. Mensah's house and borrowed his charcoal pressing iron each time, came back home with it, and ironed the uniform until if I had been the uniform, I would have said aloud that I had had enough. अभी वही बस करो कितना iron करोगे? You know, that is kind of suddenly there was a change in grandmother's behavior. She would wash her uniform, she would iron her uniform and send her to school. Aditi.
Wearing my school uniform this week has been very nice. At the parade, the first afternoon, it caught the rays of the sun and shone brighter than everybody else's uniform. I'm sure Nana saw that too and must have liked it. Yes, she has been coming into town with us every afternoon of the district sports week. Each afternoon, she has pulled one set of fresh old clothes from the big brass board to wear. And those old clothes are always so stiffly starched, you can hear the cloth creak when she passes by. But she walks way behind us, school children, as though she was running the wrong way to someplace else. Yes, I have won every race I ran for in my school, and I have won the cup for the best all-round junior athlete. Yes, Nana said that she didn't care if such things are not done. She would do it. You know what she did? She carried the gleaming cup on her back like they do with babies and other very precious things. And this time not taking the trouble to walk by herself. When we arrived in our village, she entered our compound to show the cup to my mother before going to give it back to the headmaster. Oh, grown-ups are so strange. Nana is right now carrying me on her knee and crying softly, muttering. That sa thin legs can also be useful. Thin legs can also be useful. That even though some legs don't have much meat on them to carry it, they can run. Thin legs can run. Then who knows? I don't know too much about such things, but that's how I was feeling and thinking all along. That surely one should be able to do other things with legs as well as have them because they can support hips that means babies. Except that I was afraid of saying that sort of thing aloud because someone would have told me never, never, but never to repeat such words. Or else they would have laughed so much at what I said, they would have cried. It's much better this way to have acted it out to show them, although I could not have planned it. As for my mother, she has been speechless as usual.
Understood what? She always wanted to tell them that, hello, don't stop criticizing my legs. The legs can be of much better use, can be of many other uses than only to support the hips that may be. But had she said that aloud, they would have laughed at her. Or they would have said, don't say such silly thing to anyone. So what she did, she had not planned it. But there was such a change in her grandmother's behavior because she could run fast and because she had won so many prizes, suddenly Nana was so proud of her. And in fact, when she won the trophy for the best athlete, Nana even carried that trophy and she would come every day. She would, before that, she would come every day to that school to watch her game, to watch her run, to watch her play, to watch her sports activity. And when she won, she also carried, very proudly carried that cup back home, showed it to her mother before giving it to the principal. So she says that grown-ups are so strange. All that while they were criticizing her, she was criticizing her, and she was behaving as if there is no future for this girl because she has thin legs. And suddenly there was such change in her behavior. She started washing her clothes, uniform, ironing it, and then she would accompany her. She would not accompany them, she would walk from behind so that nobody should think that she's coming to watch. Probably she was curious to, and she wanted to see how how the sports go and how her daughter and granddaughter performs. And then she realizes, and then when she won the medal, that's when she had tears in her eyes. That thin legs are also of some use. Thin legs can run fast. Thin legs win medals from. That's the lesson. The girl who can. It's very easy actually. There are many easy question answers. Do we have time for objectives? Yeah, plenty of time. Do you want 2 minutes break? I'll give you 2 minutes break. Is your headache fine? And then for the questions. Should we start with you? Who's the author of the story, The Girl Who Can? Uh, you only tell me the answer.
Um, uh,
I do.
I-
I. Ajwa is a girl. Okay, Ajwa is a -year-old girl. The place Ajwa hails from is barren, fertile plateau frequented by earthquakes. Fertile. Ajwa's mommy is dominating, orthodox, humble and helpless, conservative. Helpless. Ajwa was headstrong, timid, cunning, analytical, and sensitive. No, if you see this, analytical and sensitive. She tries to analyze everything. She doesn't say anything because she's not sure whether they will hear her, whether they'll laugh at her, whether they'll ridicule her.
Timid is weak, right?
Timid is
I mean,
weak and
elevator.
shy, yeah.
Elevator, Martin.
Timid. Who was Kaya? Nana, Mummy, Ajwa's school teacher, Ajwa's nickname.
Kaya.
Kaya. Who was Kaya? Mummy. Her mother's name was Kaya. When, okay. Swarashri, this question is for you. When Ajwa thinks of legs, she is depressed, excited, analytical, angry with her lot.
C, analytical.
Yes, analytical. Ajwa is selected to represent her school in state games, international games, national level games, junior district games. How does Nana hold the cup won by Ajwa? Keeps it on her head, holds it on in her hand, carries it on her back, throws out her. In the end of the story, Nana appears as a killjoy, a progressive dynamic woman, a frustrated woman making compromise with the way of the world.
Second one. Or first.
Progressive dynamic woman.
And what was the first one, Ismail?
A killjoy. Okay, this one is for you. How is Nana related to Ajwa? Mother, grandmother, daughter, niece. According to Nana, what was wrong with Ajwa's legs? They were spindly, they were not strong, they were too long, all of these. All of these, actually. They were spindly, they were thin, they were not weak, they were not strong, and they were also very long. Nana's reference, Aditya, this is for you. Nana's reference to dash shut mommy for good. Ajwa, mommy, Ajwa's grandfather, Ajwa's father. As for Nana, the ideal legs of a woman helped in running fast, bearing babies, walking long distance, all of these.
Bearing babies.
Ajwa wanted to see women's legs because she was curious about the appearance of the ideal legs. She wanted to see naked legs. She was suffering from mental health issues. What is this?
First one.
Yeah, first one. Okay. Uh, Swarashri, this one is for you. What did the older woman in Hasodzi wear? Wraparounds, jeans, trousers, maxi dresses.
Can you repeat?
What did the older woman in Hasodzi wear? Wraparounds, jeans, trousers, maxi dresses.
The last one?
Maxi dresses?
Wraparounds.
Wraparounds.
Around, sorry.
Where did Ajwa with her and her family bathe? In the river which flowed near the village, in the bathhouse behind their hut, in the community baths located on the outskirts. What did mommy feel for not having attended school? This is for you. What did mommy feel for not having attended for school? School was not important for her. She felt locked in some kind of darkness. She felt she was backward. Her ambition got curtailed. School was not important for her. Or she felt locked in some kind of darkness. What is the answer? B. She felt she was lost. Her mother says no that she never went to school, and therefore she always felt that she was locked in some kind of darkness. What was the usual trait of mommy? She remained quiet. She was unhappy. She complained. She was smiling. A. She remained quiet. Do we have questions in your you have volume?
Yes. That's all.
Yeah, most of the places, the short questions were given there. Okay, I'll give you few questions. It's comprehension, so I'll tell you which lines and from that only. What's the page number in idea?
773.
Okay, so the question is, they all say that when all Africa is not choking, that is first paragraph. That is the passage. They all say that when all the Africa is not choking under a drought, Hasozi lives in a fertile lowland till the end of the passage. remaining questions, I will. Take a break. We'll come after 5 minutes. Have we done active and passive voice? We've done the change the voice, no?
Voices.
Have we done? Any idea? Check we have not done, no? Active passive. For these 4 questions, then I'll give you the remaining. Who is the speaker of the extract? A 7-year-old girl, a Joa from Ghana. Sorry? Yeah, the name of the place, if you could remember. What do you learn about her from the extract? What do you learn about her? They give you the first paragraph, and you have to tell from the whole story actually. So, what do you learn about her?
She has 10 legs, but they are still useful.
Okay.
But Nana is against her going to school or being
Having thin legs.
Okay. So you can say that Ajua, a 7-year-old girl, was always criticized by her mother by her grandmother for having thin and long legs. However, uh, this girl is see from the whole lesson. What do you come to know that she's very curious. She has a curious mind. She's a curious 7-year-old girl.
She doesn't express herself.
She doesn't express herself, but she does think a lot. Then they say no, there's that word. She is analytical and sensitive. She's sensitive and analytical in her approach. She's quite observant of her surroundings. And though she's young, she knows a lot about societal expectations. Because she's constantly told thin legs, cannot bear children. So you can say that she is curious, hesitates to express her thoughts, but there was some word, no, analytical and analytical and sensitive. What information is given by the narrator about Nana? Nana is Ajoa's grandmother, mother's mother. She has a dominant personality. She's probably the head of the family. And what else?
Her grandmother who does not like her granddaughter's thin and weak legs, and she believes that due to her thin legs she cannot bear children and her legs are useless. She's also against her education and thinks that it is not necessary.
Okay. But you also mentioned that she's a dominant person. She has a
Also
dominant.
thinks that her mother and grandmother were probably arguing about her till like she was born.
But that is not about Nana. She believes that her grandmother loves her.
She also believes she's a good person, but she's only against her
Thin legs.
Yeah, but in general.
So, though Nana loved her granddaughter, she constantly criticized her thin legs. What is narrator's dilemma? Swarashri, any idea what is the narrator's dilemma?
Yes, ma'am. It's Joe's struggles about if she should speak her mind or if she should not. She has
Okay.
about.
Whether to speak her mind or to remain quiet is the dilemma that Ajwa faces. Whether to speak her mind or remain quiet. So we have done in grammar, we have done degrees of comparison.
What's the letter?
You may notice letters, formal, informal is done, email notice is done. So we do grammar. I have explained. That is not that we have to. Which weakness of Ajoa is pointed out by Nana? Too long and thin. Ajoa had too long and thin,
Children.
thin legs which cannot support the hips that bear children. Who are the two favorite people of the narrator? Her grandmother. And do they have same views? No. About what do their views differ?
School, like her mother would go to school, that's why she wanted her daughter to be able to go and learn and write about different things. And but her grandmother thought that it is unnecessary for her granddaughter to go to school.
Okay. And another
About her
thin legs. Can I raise the first question?
Yes.
What is Nana's idea of a perfect woman?
A woman born into the world with legs should have
Legs with
Meet on
meat
that.
and good
and good
calves.
calves. Yes.
Correct.
Perfect women should have ideal legs. They must be fleshy, have strong calves to support solid hips. What was the moment of pride for Nana?
The time when Arjuna won various
Ajwa
prizes
winning
from running competitions and junior district level.
She won the junior athlete sport.
Ajwa winning the junior athlete sport competition.
It's a senior. And that's what, like, she got two drawn that they were, yeah.
So that was a moment of pride. How does Nana react to Ajwa's achievement?
She acted differently and
She carried the cup, one by Ajwa, on her back,
And she also carried out
And-
and shared some freedom.
as they carry a precious child. Then she showed it to her. She proudly walked into the her house, compound of her house and showed it to her mother. She also carried her on her lap.
She
carried
carried
more lap.
carried me on her knee, and she carried her on her knee. Like, she was on her.
Done? Last answer. What change of heart and mind is seen in Nana's personality?
This one is like after she gets to know that her granddaughter was selected for the running.
This is like after she won her achievement. What is
Her attitude changed against her legs.
okay
She
towards her legs? Nana's attitude towards her thin legs changed, and she realized that thin legs were also useful, and women's legs can be used for other things than just supporting the hips to bear children.
She was proud that
Her daughter had, yes, she was like proud of her daughter, granddaughter, who had won the athletic sport event at the. So right, she was proud of her Joa. She realized that the legs can be off. Legs can be off. Okay, though the legs were thin, they are also off. They can be of
use.
use. Even they can be of use.
other than
Yes. And she realized that women's legs can be of use more other than bearing children, other than to support hips to bear children. And she realized that women's role is not restricted to bear children alone. She also realized that women's role is not restricted to bear children alone. Finish writing. I forgot to get my Julius Caesar. Do you all have your Julius Caesar? We have time, we'll do a quick revision of active passive. Are you comfortable with voices? So it can be a quick revision rather than starting with a new lesson. In a minute. Done? Did you write the last answer? Read.
Nana was proud that Ajua had proved her wrong by winning the junior athlete sports competition and all races for her school. Nana had realized that the legs can also be of other use than supporting hips to bear children. Nana also realized that it was more than a woman's potential to get married and have babies. Nana had a change in her orthodox perspectives about social standards placed upon women.
Okay, good. You finished writing? Vihan and Abhini. Done? Should we go to active passive? Quick revision. Since we have still 20 minutes. So in 20 minutes we'll do a quick. Do you get a separate question? So about prepositions also? Any all your grammar questions are MCQs, no? What did you have for MCQs in this?
Just functional grammar.
Not?
They normal, just like functional grammar.
But what was asked basically? All this only. What do you have in your you have active passive in this? So you can that is volume one. This is yours, no? Page number?
Seven.
Should we do this practice exercises? Or should I give you one sentence here just for revision first? I'm not sure. You all are comfortable? Or you want a little explanation? No. No reaction. So. Okay. My father gave me a pen. Begin with a pen.
Was given to me by.
Okay. A pen was given to me by my father. Okay. Now don't give chorus answers. I'll ask each one of you. Begin with the clown.
The clown made laugh.
The clown. Now,
Was
Was flouted by the
Crowd.
this is a past tense.
Please.
So, this is a past sentence is in past tense. See, you have to check the sentence. If the sentence is in present tense, we add is or are before the verb and past participle. Okay. If the sentence is in past tense, then was or were and the past participle. So here the clown was laughed at by the crowd. Okay, so this will be the clown was laughed at by the crowd. I give one more sentence. Three men are loading the cart. Three men are loading the cart. Now we begin with the cart.
The cart was being loaded by
Now the sentence is in which tense?
is
The cart is
being loaded by 3 men.
if the sentence is in continuous tense, that is verb plus ing, then here we add being. This is present continuous, therefore is being loaded.
Loaded by
Okay. He had washed the clothes. अभी क्या आएगा? In this, no, you should always ask what to the verb. If nothing is given, just told change the voice. He had washed what? The clothes. So that will come first. Passive voice means the one who's doing the action will go last. And जिसके ऊपर action हुई है, that will come first. Okay. So the clothes. जिस पे action हुई है, the clothes. उसके बाद आएगा verb. Now यहाँ पे had है. तो had will remain had. यहाँ पे laughed था, लेकिन helping verb कुछ नहीं था. इसलिए हम लोग ने यहाँ पे past tense का helping verb is was and were. अगर sentence present tense में है तो helping verb is and are. Okay? यहाँ पे helping verb already है, मगर ये sentence continuous tense में है, तो उसके बीच में क्या आएगा? Helping verb plus being और past participle. अभी यहाँ पे helping verb already है, क्या है? Had. The clothes had been washed. Past perfect tense में been आता है. Had been washed by him. अगर the sentence is He will be elected president by the group. And begin the sentence with the group. Now the sentence is in which voice? That he will be elected president by the group.
Passive.
Passive.
There is the action and the
Yes.
group is the.
Doing the action. So the one who's doing the action has gone in the end. That means it is in passive voice. Now you have asked to begin with the group. That means you have.
Will elect him president.
Yes, the group will elect
Him
president. The group will elect him
President.
president. If the sentence is open the door. Begin with let.
Let the door be opened by.
Let the door be opened. Fine. Now we will try to solve this. Usually they give either the end or the beginning for you. Here they have not done that. So usually in the exam it is given. Sapna was reading the newspaper.
Then why is
Okay, what I'll do is you write the answers to question 2, A2, A4, A8, and A10. And the remaining will do oral. Ask question for. Last minute. So just your sheet and just actually.
B लगाएगा जब ING होगा continuous यहाँ पे आएगा B double B and B और अच्छी तरह sentence कैसे करते हैं लेकिन मतलब क्या है इससे हाँ ओके question when we do then we move forward. I will reach like this one, reach like one. This week. Once. Okay, be accelerated. Then. So. Right. It's a little fast. Pause. But. So. Then I see it. No, maybe I want. When cannot direct. Once did the reach like that? Don't. Did the right thing or something you ask me. Just one. Okay, usually I know. And equity has in which we bring a higher. Then which we does anything. She's writing, was writing. But the workplace range. So that he was the Okay, you wrote these answers, all four are done. Abhini, let's start with Abhini, second one. We mark second row.
Finance, brothers, homework will be the assignment.
Okay, her brother's homework will have been done by Tanvi. And fourth one,
Which are.
when did Romesh write this sweet poem?
When was this sweet poem written by?
When this sweet poem was written by Romesh. When this sweet poem was written by Romesh. Then, which one I said? Eighth one, Bengalis like fish.
Fish is liked by Bengali.
Yes. The 10th one,
The thieves were caught by the villagers and handed over by
The
the
thieves were caught and handed over to the police by the villagers. Okay. Now the remaining ones. Third one. Will you tell the third one? Shikha always obeys her orders. Her elders.
always with smarts.
Her elders are always obeyed by Shikha. Next. Fifth one.
Is the main
Yes.
had
It is had
been taken.
has been taken by him.
Six.
They would have praised you next if you had succeeded in the task.
If you had succeeded in the task, they would have praised you.
Yeah. See, take only the first part. Take only the first part. Or if you had succeeded in your task, you would have been praised by them. Okay? Yes, yeah. Or you would have been praised by them if you had succeeded in the task. Both the ways it is right. Are the mountaineers not climbing the mountains?
Are the mountains not
Climbed by the mountaineers. That's right. One should not break promises.
Promises should not
Be
be
broken by
man.
God. Yes. Now here you have to turn it into active words. You are requested to bring me a glass of water.
I requested.
Yes, I request you to bring me a glass of water. This boy must be taught English by you.
English must be taught to you by this word.
I you have to change it to active voice. By nikalna hai. So
English must be taught by you to this one.
by nikalna hai.
You must teach.
You must teach English to this boy. Yes, you must teach English to this boy. All the fruit has been consumed by me. All the fruits
I have
consumed all the. Next one.
Jacob has written this letter.
Jacob has written this letter. No. Jacob was written. So Jacob wrote this letter. As नहीं यहाँ पे was है. ठीक है. Why these girls are not coming? Exams?
From 15.
It's from 15th, no?
Also starting from 15. Yours also starting from 15, but subject important.
And 40 marks. Only once in a week.
Once in a week.